Remember that time that Godzilla fought the Mecha Yeti and King Cobra? Godzilla the series was the Saturday morning animated spin-off to the 1998 movie of the same name. Someone realized how royally they fucked up with the movie and decided to create a new Godzilla for this animated series and treated this character with love and care. In turn, making this series a little more faithful to the original Toho property. The series ran for 2 seasons on Fox Kids with toys, video games, and even home video releases. The thing I loved the most to me about this show was the weekly fights that Godzilla had with monsters. And Godzilla fought many monsters just like his original Japanese counterparts. A lot of the monsters too that they fought, which I thought really cool about this series, were a lot of nods and callbacks to characters he fought in the original Japanese film series. Which brings us to what we're going to talk about today. The episode Competition from Godzilla the series. This was the 15th episode of the first season of Godzilla the series, which was after the popular Monster Wars arc. However, it was meant to be aired before the Monster Wars arc. In this episode, we see Godzilla fight nods to a previous foe, but in 2 of the oddest forms. A Yeti and a King Cobra. Do with that what you will. Step aside, King Kong versus Godzilla. Step back, Godzilla vs. Kong. This is Godzilla vs. the Mecha Yeti, following Godzilla vs. King Cobra. Oh my. Season 1, Episode 15. Competition. Let's do this. The episode starts in Japan with some hikers. Okay, promising so far.
I thought you said this was a piece of cake.
It would be, Makyo-san, if you weren't so stuffed with cake.
Lady, the heart wants what it wants. The hikers don't know where to go, and the lady hiker slaps the map out of Cake Lover's hand. A fat joke and now anger issues. Who signed off on her? So Cake Lover is seemingly lost until the lady hiker finds him, where she jump scares him and he falls into some slime. Okay, lady, you have some serious issues. As they try to help Cake Lover up from out of the goo, they are jump scared from a fanged creature. Not so fun when the shoe's on the other foot, is it, lady? And we cut to the intro credits, which I gotta say is one of the most awesome intros from an animated series ever. The central team of scientists are aboard a flight. Dr. Craven asks Dr. Chapman for the newspaper, where she politely tells him no, and reveals that the hikers from the intro went missing. French agent Dupre claims it's the work of a new monster, which should be taken down. As Nick claims not all mutations are bad, as Agent Dupre calls Nick biased because of Godzilla. This is Nick, the same character that Matthew Broderick played in the 1998 film.
That's a lot of fish.
Nick reluctantly agrees to go after the monster, yet asks where they should go once it is captured, prompting Dr. Chapman to suggest a remote island. Monster fights! Dr. Chapman calls the idea stupid, claiming it would be a monster zoo, where intern Randy states they could profit from selling tickets and film it when the monsters get loose, all while playing with a T-Rex puppet. Ah, so it was Godzilla that ate the lawyer the whole time. The team land in Japan, but are promptly told to get the fuck out as they've been red flagged. We all know how Japan are with long-term tourists. Agent Dupre, speaking the only words she knows in Japanese on the phone, passes the phone to the airport agent, whom quickly has his balls removed by the person all over the phone, and apologizes to them, welcoming them to Japan. I mean, fear tactics? I don't know, you guys try coming up with jokes. We finally see Godzilla as a child spots him on a plane, where the kid's mom claims, why would Godzilla be in Japan? How meta of you, series. Our team make it to the trail where the hikers went missing, only to be scared off into the woods by Japanese military. Oh yeah, you sure showed them. The team finds some wreckage and decides to check it out. Well, that monster definitely had a good time.
I've fallen and I can't get up. You try and get out of this goop.
Wow, this monster's a real freak. The team head further into the woods and find albino hair.
Clearly a creature with a very large foot.
Yeah, maybe it was this thing. Nick and Dr. Chapman test the fur and realize that it isn't organic yet synthetic. King Kong! Oh, wait. The team are attacked by a giant Yeti. Okay, so this thing looks like Rafiki had a baby with Bigfoot. The Yeti continues to rampage as the Mogra sub Nigel is released on the Yeti.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Can you say neighborhood? I knew you could.
It seems more interested in destroying our equipment than us.
He gently nudged Nigel. Godzilla, back from his cigarette break, finally decides to come fight the Yeti. Well, at least it wasn't a fucking dropkick.
Yeah! Give him one for me, Mr. G!
Who even are you?
But how? Inosutakari judo throw?
Maybe you trained with Jackie Chan.
Why?
So Godzilla burns the Yeti down, thinking it's over.
But wait! There's more!
The Yeti gets back up, revealing that it's actually a Mecha Yeti.
A robot?
You fought so many mutations, and a robot's the one that shocks you? Godzilla and Mecha Yeti continue to fight in a pretty fun battle.
If we can find Nigel, I may be able to fry that robot's processors!
Why? So we can take out the Mecha Yeti as some Sesame Street characters next? They try to revive Nigel, yet are arrested, where it is revealed that a famous Japanese scientist was behind their arrest, and she is controlling the Yeti.
The world will thank me once my creation has quelled the threat of Godzilla.
Hey, it's Godzilla, lady.
No, Randy, she's saying it accurately.
Call off the attack and he'll leave.
After that creature invaded Japan and devoured 20 of my countrymen?
What are you talking about? Godzilla didn't need anybody.
When did we make the shift of this being Godzilla, the animated series, to the actual Godzilla film series? Dr. Chapman reveals the goo sample and that it isn't from Godzilla, only for the scientists not to give a fuck, stating all monsters must die.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity.
Nick commandeers a gun, demanding the Yeti be called off. Again, this guy.
That's a lot of fish.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fucking King Cobra kaiju appears and starts attacking with its goo.
Gross.
Mecha Yeti and King Cobra start fighting, only for Godzilla to start fighting the Cobra. As the Yeti is rendered obsolete, the evil scientists and the main team decide to work together. They create a liquid that can dissolve the snake goo for good.
I can use your help, if the others can spare you. Go get him, Tiger.
Okay, why is this episode so horny? Dr. Craven reluctantly puts Nigel into the Mecha Yeti, and the team head out to find the King Cobra. In true Godzilla fashion, Godzilla and the Mecha Yeti fight King Cobra in the city.
I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Dr. Chapman and Randy the intern find the missing hikers and use the lab-created solvent to free the hikers, where the monsters continue to fight.
There's mud in your eye, buddy boy.
As Godzilla's had goop in his eyes the whole fight, and they are now cleared, he fucks up the Cobra and discards it into the ocean like shit-stained underwear.
Can we offer any assistance rebuilding your robot? Japan's probably gonna need it.
Would you mind lending me your chief roboticist for a brief consultation?
Oh, sorry, we got a plane to catch.
I would be honored, Yukiko-sama.
Yep, those two are definitely gonna fuck. The episode ends as Randy the intern looks on in disbelief as we go to the end credits.
What the hell was that?
Okay, so that really wasn't as horrible as I made it out to be. This series in general is actually pretty solid, and Godzilla is even treated respectfully in this. The cast of characters, albeit forgettable, are just fine, as you could just as easily not have them in the series, but I do see why they are there. And I honestly don't mind them. It's odd to me how the character of Nick is portrayed as this like generic action hero looking character, when in actuality, in the 1998 film, he's portrayed by the non-action hero star whatsoever, Matthew Broderick.
That's a lot of fish.
Alright, that's the last time I use that clip, I promise. Randy the intern, however, is kind of annoying, and Agent Dupre, to be honest, has the worst French accent I think I've ever heard. And this is coming from somebody who is, in fact, half French. And then there's the awful dad jokes in the show, which a dad joke aficionado like myself doesn't even find funny. Another thing I really found unnecessary was the fat shaming joke at the beginning. Same goes for Randy the intern correcting a Japanese woman saying Godzilla's name properly in its native Japanese. I feel like that's kind of stuff that they could have left out, and that really did not age too well. I get it. This is the United States version of Godzilla, but still. Dumb characters and shitty jokes aside, we come here for one thing, and that's to see Godzilla fight monsters. And in general, this series really does deliver on that. They're mindless and they're dumb, but in the greatest of ways. This show absolutely loved referencing nods to older Godzilla foes, for example, Mechagodzilla and Rodan. And quite honestly, in this episode, it is very clear just whom they are referencing here. You know, come to think of it, that ending was very eerily similar to the ending of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Great Scott!
Anyways, I really do recommend this series, as it truly is a great series with some really awesome monster fights. And as well, this was a great way to end Godzilla Week. Go check out this series, and I promise you, you're gonna have a lot of fun. That's it for me today. I'm off to see Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. If you guys are going to go see that movie, go enjoy it. I know that I'm going to go enjoy it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.